We don't just fight insurance companies, we train for it. If you want results, get a lawyer that puts in the work. 107. Do you trust a lawyer that doesn't train? 102. Or a lawyer that quits when it gets tough. Pacific West Injury Law. We're built to win.
The red hat is back.
What do you mean?
Looks like you washed it.
Maybe I did. Maybe Vanessa washed it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you washed it.
Does it look like shit?
No, but you can tell it's kind of beat up.
I only have one.
You wear the red hat only for
No. Yeah, pretty
much. The running joke inside is you're the red hat guy.
Yeah.
Because we had a few comments on there, the red hat, you know.
Yeah. No, I wear it on the podcast and very rarely when I go out because then people will be like, "Oh, that's the guy with the red hat." And I don't.
How come you choose red?
I don't know. I just started wearing it, and then all of a sudden,
You don't drive a red vehicle or wear red shirts.
No, I don't have anything. Just my
kind of weird that you chose a red hat,
but I do have
an unbranded hat.
My favorite. I know that's on purpose. If you guys would like to sponsor this hat, you can pay me. I have red Chucks that I wear a lot, though.
I think Flex wanted you to wear his Flex equipment wanted you to wear Flex Fitness. Remember you talked about the hats?
Yeah, but they mentioned it.
Big shout out to Mark Nally, Flex Fitness.
Yeah, well, he can sponsor me. I'm an influencer now. You know this?
That was one of our questions today. Was,
I know.
So we actually wanted to do this podcast. We've been kind of on a little hiatus just because of travel schedule, which we'll talk about. But we wanted to get some questions. You threw up how early this morning did you put up the? We
Maybe
had
like an hour and a half.
We literally had like 40
questions.
Yeah,
I even looked on Facebook. It's on Facebook too.
Yeah, so a little insight with the podcast. Obviously, you guys have been super supportive over the last few years. We are having guests that come through here, but we wanted to do this today just to kind of answer some questions, catch up a little bit because it's been a minute. We haven't done many breakdowns, and the reason is there's so many contests this year, and there's so many divisions, and I feel like sometimes we obviously focus on open bodybuilding because that's where I came from, and I'm not as familiar with a lot of divisions. It's really hard to keep up. So if some of the people following, I mean, some of you guys watch everything with every division, but I also don't want to be disrespectful and not include because we have had some people get a little not hurt, but we should be covering some of the bigger shows where, like Pittsburgh, for example, where the men's physique was like really the spoken about division there.
That was the biggest highlight of the show was the men's physique.
And I mean, we had Chiron on, and I mean, we did give the flowers to that division. And like I said, it's, the biggest division around the world. So I don't want to disrespect any of the divisions. And I know some of the questions attain to that day. So I figured this would be a pretty good podcast. We're going to kind of overview, what kind of shows that we did miss. Cause there's a lot of qualifications in the open division that we have missed. And, obviously this past weekend, Quentin won the Toronto Pro Show.
Toronto, first time qualifying for Olympia. So
I mean, he's been battling a lot of second places and, bridesmaid a few times. So huge congratulations to him. I know I commented on, he just posted a video that, Sean Ray, once again, we love Sean Ray's opinions because I think he's outspoken. And I was a huge fan of Sean, still am. I know people have their disagreements on his opinions. And he actually said, hey, you should skip the Olympia because you can't be in the top 10. But I kindly put on there, just so you know, I mean, I was 15 out of 16. My first, take that as a note and put a key to listen. And I think Quentin handled it very mature for a young guy coming in for what, if we want to call him a rookie, and said, listen, opportunity knocks. It may not have the opportunity again, circumstances. Life gets thrown a lot of curveballs. Quentin, you handled it absolutely great. Sean, we love your opinion. But listen, he wants to go in there and, maybe he can place in the top 10. Do you think he can do the top 10?
I think it'd be hard for him
Why?
This year. I think he still has some holes he has to fill.
Because he's tall.
He's tall. It's the same thing. Any of the guys that are 6 foot plus, it takes...
He made crazy improvements, though. I mean, he's improving all the time. And I know there was some there was some body parts that were in great condition, and then maybe some others where he could be a little more dominant. And, but he had a great, listen, he qualified, and he's going to show up here in Vegas. I say this to anyone, I had a lot of Olympia experience. The first year I qualified, I chose to do it. I only sat out 1 year, 2 years actually. One was an injury, but 1 year because I was moving to Vegas, and I was on the top then. I had placed second in 01, and I sat out 02. Not a regret, but I could have won that year.
You could have.
So it was like, I did win the Arnold and back to back Arnold Classics, and then of course came back to the Olympia and placed second again. But I feel like I missed an opportunity in a sense, because that was like Ronnie came in trimmed down that year, and I might have had the advantage because of young muscle. And age is a huge difference when you stand on that Olympia stage, whether it's good or bad, meaning the maturity level is different in each person. Like we were just talking about Regan, coming up, and he's going to be competing in these couple shows, and like he's in his early 30s now, and that could be a blessing to him because I feel like he's still been a little immature in his physique. Mm-hmm. And we just talked about like how hard someone looks at, it's 300 pounds, and he's like, well, your look was different at 300. That's what I mean, the genetics. Yeah. And I was like the young guy coming in. Remember, I was standing next to Ronnie Coleman, Flex Wheeler, Kevin Levrone, Dillette, Sean Ray, and all these guys, Lee Priest, everyone that was like really Nasser somebody. They were all top guys then.
Fit Club started right here at the Strip, off Hacienda and Decatur. The energy, the grit, the place that set the standard for Vegas fitness. Then came Northwest, near Summerlin, sharing the Fit Club gym culture and vibes across Las Vegas. And the crown jewel, Henderson, a cutting-edge space designed for bodybuilders, competitors, and anyone chasing their best self. Fit Club Las Vegas, now with 3 locations.
So I think we have to look at that and the opportunity, and Olympia's, on paper it's still the show.
I think I understand what Sean's saying, and when you go into a show, you want to be able to win. But now, flip side. It's your first Olympia, you do it. Because you might not get that opportunity.
And I think
again.
he was 12 in his first.
Go through the list of guys who weren't in the top 10. You and Ronnie Coleman.
Phil Heath made a kind of a statement early on, and he chose not to do qualified Olympia.
For the first 2 times he qualified.
Yes, and I know he got a lot of questions when he was making those decisions, meaning he had sponsors. He was a big guy in the magazine. Like, why are you sitting out? But, he had this whole mindset of like, I want to be able to battle the top. And he was third at his first one. I always argued he could have been better. I was second. Dexter was first.
So here, let me ask you this. If he wouldn't have skipped those 2, if he'd have went right in the very first year, he might not have been in the top 10. It's a possibility because his back was still behind. His legs were still behind. He was 215, 220.
It's easy for us to say that now.
He could have, no
But
guarantee.
The crispness of his physique could have carried him because he did have those lines that we probably haven't seen if ever.
Yeah.
I was just with him and we did a photo shoot in LA.
Yeah.
For young LA. Kind of ironic, but we were talking about that, and he was talking about how, man, it's like, we constantly praise him on here. And what amazes me is still, we actually got to train. We went to Golds and we did shoulders. And he still doesn't really work out steadily. And he looks the way he does,
It's genetics, dude.
Yeah, one thing, it's crazy because like full circle, like I'm the lean guy now. I'm 215, by the way, now. And Phil, I don't know what he weighs. He probably doesn't weigh much more than that, but for some reason he looks so big and round, and I feel like it took him so long to get the density, and now he maintains the density.
He can't get rid of it if he wants to.
So it's like I look at his legs and stuff, and I'm like, damn, like you don't train your legs? My legs are smaller and leaner, but like I've downsized all over my body where I feel like Phil's like just like shrunk a little bit, but he's still got the roundness to him.
He's still the way Phil still looks the way you did when you were 3 years out of retirement. You were still 270. You were still big. That's what he looks like. I'm sure if he really wanted to slim down, he could.
Is he six years out now? What was his last year?
2021, was it, or 2020? So 5 years?
I think it's 6 years. It'll be 6 years this season, this Olympia season. I mean,
he's still big.
But 2013, so that means like 2019. I guess I was still pretty big in 2019, like going into.
You didn't really start really getting small until your 50th, where you really came down to what were you? 230?
But I mean, then I was stuck at 230 whatever, and I mean just until recently I sat at about 230, and I mean I float between 215 and 220 now, so it's not like I'm like solid 215 and like losing. I told you I got down to 212 one morning. I woke up, but that's also travel schedule, not eating. But I actually been really trying to get up and train now in the morning. I do eat one meal or I do fasted workouts because that's what I do on the road. So
you know what that shows us? It doesn't matter your training, it doesn't matter what drugs you take, genetics. At the end, who has the best genetics?
I'm thankful that I'm able to stay leaner and my diet is not as on point as it always was. Meaning,
you actually go out to eat more now.
I eat out, but I also eat like I go to French fries. We went out the other night when we ate at the place. I eat a little more loosely now. I don't eat salt. Like we have regular bacon in the morning. I have one slice of bacon. Like, and when I go out to the restaurants, like when I was in California, just when I stayed out there, I stayed out for a few extra days after the shoot. I had bacon every morning for breakfast, at the restaurant.
I still prefer the turkey bacon. I love that uncured turkey bacon.
Yeah, I usually just eat regular bacon now. To me, it tastes a little bit. I burn it and it tastes better,
You piece of charcoal.
All right, take two. Hey guys, if you have not heard, I've launched my own TRT clinic. TRT Kingdom is now live. And if you'd like to schedule on consult or get more information, make sure you guys go over, check it out, and let us see how we can help with your health needs.
Click the link below.
Shit.
Say click the link below.
Okay. Click the link below.
Burnt bacon's better than
you always do that when we go out to eat. I want bacon, but I want you to burn it.
Yeah,
I want you to burn it.
It's like when you burn stuff, it's sometimes not my steak, but
yeah. Back to what we were saying about Quentin, though. He definitely needs to do his first.
Yeah. He's a guy, he's Canadian guy, another representation. They need another one up. I mean, I don't know who's pushing Canada.
Well,
now.
I saw. Well, I mean,
Ian's
obviously
coming back.
Regan. I saw Ian's coming back. Obviously, Missy Truscott's from Canada and Bumstead.
But like literally living in Canada and training at Pure
just
Muscle.
Regan and him.
Yeah. Is that where he trains, Pure Muscle or
Regan? Yeah. Quentin? I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm assuming he does.
So big shout out to Quentin. But we go down the list of like I know Mo Fuda. He won Fuad Show. I think we've done a recap on that.
So it says Sergey from Russia.
Yeah, which was last year.
Derek,
which
obviously
was I expect a lot of stuff.
They don't have Samson on here, so I need the Pro League needs to update that.
Shout out
Andrew
to
Jack,
Olympia.
Michael Crizzo won Pittsburgh. Tonio Burton won 2 shows.
Yes,
he won Reno and New York. Fitzwater won Prague last year. Andrea Presti, I believe, won the China show last year. Sean Clarita, I know he won an open show. I don't remember which one it was.
It was the end of last year, though.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
And Antonio Burton also won Mexico last year, so he's qualified 3 times over. Mo Fuda won
Fuad's.
Yep, Fuad show. Sasan won Cal. He won 2 shows, I thought.
Yeah, he won another one.
And then Leonardo.
Did he win FIBO too, Sauce?
Yes. Leonardo Sensi Perez from Brazil. I'm not sure what show he won. I'm assuming I'd have to go back and look that
one
up.
The European shows.
William Bonnick, he just won recently.
Yep.
And then Quentin. So we got 16 guys.
What do you think of what Williams look? I mean, people said it was some of the best he looked.
Hey, listen, man, Williams, one of those guys that anyone who counts him out, shouldn't be judging. That's for sure.
Still a top 10 guy.
Every time we see him, he seems to look better and better, and he's still one of the few guys that has that nasty density that only a couple guys have, and he still has that.
44, bro.
I mean, listen, I don't care how good you are. You stand next to him, he's going to expose you.
To have the mindset to be able to wake up and revitalize your career in at 40, I guess he's 40. I think he's 44. Don't strike me if I'm wrong. I think it's close to that. Mm-hmm. How do you still have the work capacity? Listen, I was a workhorse, and at 40, I was just done, dude. I was just. I said it's got to be more than this boxy lifestyle. You know how I was just super regimen and just like I couldn't really function and do many things outside of the training for competitions, but I just was so burnt on that. So for him to do it, and then like Michael Crizzo, I mean, he made a lot of improvements. I mean, you saw Tonio beat him, and then
Did he beat
the
him
next week? Yeah, I mean, and it was pretty. I mean, he made a lot of improvements on the posing, but it just goes to show how much. And I talk about this all the time. Is the biggest questions I get now is like, any advice? I'm doing my first show, and I always tell them, no matter what division you do, whether it's men's physique, classic, bodybuilding, you have to practice the posing. You have to learn what works best with your structure. And there's only one way to really do that, and that's to constantly go through the rotations and tweak your body the right or left, or stand on it a little different, because everyone is going to have a judgment, and it's good to have a great set of eyes. Like, not necessarily a coach, but a good set of eyes that's going to pick you apart and be honest with you and realize that's your best. Your right side's better than your left side, okay? Squeeze the abs a little more here. Stand a little taller. Keep the arms. Now today you got the arms here. There's so many. The leg stance is totally different.
Yeah.
The judges don't necessarily critique that standing relaxed as much and as far as in the open division. Now with the other divisions, I mean, obviously classic is gaining a lot of momentum only because like the guys are all in crazy condition. But the last few shows, a lot of the open class have been in great shape. A lot of some of the guys even that didn't win are all pushing those top spots, which is, it's great to see. And even the guest posing at Pittsburgh, I don't think we even spoke about that. No. These guys are all in unbelievable shape.
Ramon Dino looked like he was ready to compete.
Right?
He should have jumped on stage and got a check.
I mean, if you had to rate that guest posing, like who won?
Man,
it's hard not to say Ramon Dino because
he's so shredded. But then when you still look at Andrew and Samson, they're so damn big and they're symmetrical. And they both present themselves.
But Derek looked great too.
Yeah, they all did. I mean, everyone did. At the end of the day, just like Arnold said 35 years ago, a good big man is going to beat a good short man. I
think Derek would argue that. He's very confident right now.
No, I mean he can argue it, but if the other people are 100% and he's 100%, he doesn't beat them.
And
that's just
coming back to win the title after losing it changes your mentality because the world's against you, right? It can't be done. Jay Cutler did it once, right?
He's the front runner for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, Hadi Chupin's not a slouch either. No. I mean, Milos is now working with him. We haven't had Milos on to talk much about his abilities. But, I mean, I'm looking at Baruz right now, and look at how he may look his best of all time. So, like, we have the two Iranian guys right now that are hungry and getting the job done, but like, what is Hadi going to show up like come September?
All I know is there's between 1 and 6 guys in that mix that legitimately.
Do you think we're going to see the best Hadi ever?
I don't know. I think last year he obviously had a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Well, that was for the Arnold, wasn't it? Yeah.
So the Arnold and
he was under a lot of stress, I'm sure. But he still, I mean, listen, he looked great.
I've said this. I'll say it over and over again. I
know.
Hadi should have, my opinion. Yes. He should have at least 4 Olympia titles. But we'll see going into the show. Look, every one of those top guys, no matter what Derek says or Hadi says, all those guys are very close. And if you're off, you can slip 2 spots.
What do you think happened with Brandon in Pittsburgh?
He just didn't look. Do
you think he had a little downtime after doing the Arnolds?
I knew he was traveling with his family and stuff, and he has a lot going on. And
I mean, he was big enough. He just needed to
the condition
tighten it up. It just needed the lines. And I think that's, when we talk about the judging now, I mean, there's a lot of, and it's come forward now, and I've been saying this all along, is the guys are big and full now, and it's blurring the lines a little bit. But that's what is winning in the open side. I think when they look at classic physique and you see like the guys have to make a weight so it keeps it within check, where these guys, no matter what their height, structure, or whatever, they're pushing all limitations, including what I was doing. So don't discredit like our era was so much better. I felt like there were shows that I blurred the lines too to be as big as Ronnie Coleman, but if it was winning, that's what we're kind of forced to do. And when you have the judging, and I can't sit there and criticize the judging, because when you have a bunch of guys up there and everyone's big, and then you got one guy that's like really leaned up, but it's just, he's not dense enough. So it's just the best of what is on the stage. And I know the judges are getting some criticism maybe about like the fullness factor in being fuller. I mean, it's kind of like bikini, right? I mean, I don't know what, like, is it tighter? Is it fuller? Is it like
It depends on
we
the
kind of
judge,
watch
the head judge. They're all different.
I don't know like that. I mean, Laura Lee, she looked amazing. And then Amy
Beat her the
beat
next
her
weekend.
in
Next
Miami.
weekend,
Yeah.
Miami.
So I'm glad I don't have to judge. That's all I have to
No,
say.
no.
So
I agree.
big shout out to the whole crew, Steve, Tyler, everyone.
It's easy. It's easy for us to Monday morning quarterback from here.
Hell yeah. And listen,
I wouldn't want it.
I want to make sure that, this, you understand, like, we're not criticizing. It's just something we just have, like, this is our visual,
our opinion
idea of what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to. I mean, just think of the top 4 guys. You have Samson, who's got amazing structure, symmetry. Andrew, same thing. Samson's probably the most complete guy from head to toe with the least amount of flaws, but he doesn't get the crazy conditioning. Derek and Hottie get the crazy conditioning. Derek from the back, Hottie from the front, but their structure is much smaller. So you are literally dealing with apples and oranges.
But you're saying smaller, but they're massive.
No, they're massive on their frame. Yes,
That's what the
of
crazy
course.
part.
That's when you're 6 inches shorter, you can look bigger, but at the same time, when they're crazy shredded and the taller guys are not shredded, then they look out of shape. So you're literally dealing with apples and oranges. With you and Ronnie, it was just 2 big, massive guys. You might not have had the same symmetry Ronnie had because your waist is a little wider, but you were so wide that the illusion was similar. So you were comparable.
How would these guys do? And how would we do against Samson and
I think
Andrew Jacked and?
I think the problem they would have is I don't think they don't get as hard as you and Ronnie did, and that shows up when you're putting those guys next to each other. They don't get that nasty.
I know, but is it
hardness
because that's the cards they're dealt with, or is
I just think it's genetics. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Like even when you were 295 off season, you were holding a bunch of water. You were still hard. Where some of these guys don't get that hardness until the last week. When they start pulling the water.
Is it the food? Is it the
it could be. It could be. I don't know. But I do think it's some people are just genetic. Like when you would see Ronnie Coleman off season, he was still hard off season. Even when he was 320 or whatever, to where he looked harder then than some guys do on stage now. I think it's more of a genetic thing.
Yeah, but we were also off.
That's
off,
another
which is
thing.
A huge difference.
That's another thing that the guys never want to listen to, and everyone says you guys are liars. When you come completely off everything, the body responds different and it looks different when it takes a real break. They can argue all they want, but go look at the results. Show me somebody nowadays that has that same, and the other thing is we don't know the health side of things.
Well, we assume people aren't off. So
yeah. Well, no, I mean I'll hear. Yeah,
I know. We just know kind of inside track to a majority.
Yeah.
Of.
Because when you say I came off, they're like, no, you didn't. You had to take this. Like, no, completely off. So when the body comes back and you introduce certain compounds,
I think the receptor
responds better. They can say what they want, but we had Dr. Zach on here.
Well, did he say that?
Yeah, he 100%.
I mean, but someone could come and argue that.
They can come argue it, and they can have their opinions, but Dr. Zach did this on a clinical level.
I know, until you did literally broke us down, took my genetics and did a whole genetic test and said, well, Jay Cutler's remember, there's this many people that can make it to the Mr. Olympia out of millions of people, right?
Billions of people.
That try. Yeah. I mean, think how many Mr. Olympia, and granted, people say, well, it's politics or whatever else.
You still got the physique to get on that stage.
To knock at the door and be there. I mean, William Bonnick was second before. Yeah.
But I mean, look, are there other people out there that could do it and have the genetics? Probably.
1,000%.
But you know what they're doing? You know what they're doing? They're making real money. They're playing a sport. They're playing soccer, or they're playing in the NFL or some other sport that guarantees them tens of millions of dollars and not tens of thousands of dollars.
That's funny. That's true.
Think about it, though.
What do we have coming up for contests now?
Let me look it up.
There's a lot on the schedule. It's a lot of international places, right?
Yes. Let me go.
I mean, Tampa Pro is coming. Texas is coming.
Tampa,
I know that.
Texas. Let me scroll down here.
But what do we have in Europe now?
There's a bunch in Europe afterwards. So right now, let's see. We just had Toronto. We have the Spain. Spain is this weekend. the Empro Classic.
Okay, and
then the week after that is Italy.
Who do we see advertised for the Empro Classic? Sauce?
I think
Sauce is doing it.
Is he?
I think so.
I think Jordan Hutchinson's doing one of these shows too, overseas. Maybe Italy.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's real good. So then the weekend after that, we have Italy on June 28th. And then the weekend after that is Portugal. No, he's doing Portugal. The big man show.
Okay.
And then we have Chicago.
Yeah, but Tampa's in there somewhere too. Tampa's early August.
This is July still, Tampa. And then we have the Henjai Pro in China. That's July 26th. And then the week after that is Tampa. And the weekend, 2 weeks later, the weekend after that, we have Atlanta, Linda Murray Pro.
Okay.
And then the weekend after that is Texas. And then the Austrian Pro, the Austrian Oak, August 22nd. And then there's another Pro Italy show, September 6th. I think the Austria one, either the Austrian one or Texas is the last one. Then Italy, and then there's Europe Championships, September 3rd before the weekend, 13th before the weekend.
Give us guys some names that are doing some of these international events, so maybe we can talk about it. Put it in the.
And I was looking at this before. After the Olympia, you have South Korea the weekend after the Olympia. No, I'm sorry, that's natural. October 3rd, you have Poland. Then the weekend after, the same weekend, you have Mexico. The next weekend is Prague. The next weekend is Dubai. The next weekend is France. Oh, no, it's Pro Natural. Slovakia Pro, October 25th. Poland Pro, October 31st. And then Romania Muscle Fest, November 7th. And then Portugal Big Man, November 21st. And then Spain, November 29th. And if I remember, I thought there was a Saudi Arabia show in there too. But
I know
there's a lot of shows.
Acito's son Farid's doing one of those natural pro shows.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I want to say France. Did you say France?
Yeah, there's one in.
I think he's doing France. So.
Yeah, France Natural Pro, October. That's on my birthday, October 23rd. Ron Hash is a promoter. So we got a lot of. I mean, there's still a good amount of guys that can qualify.
So that's why we've kind of laid back. We will, of course, we'll talk a little bit about him, but probably not just, hey, let's do a breakdown with Milos and whatever else. We still need to have a conversation with him because obviously he's training Hadi and Baruz. Baruz is doing one of these shows soon.
He's doing one.
I think he's doing this Empro.
He might be doing the Spain show.
I think so because he's in crazy shape right now.
He won it like 2 years ago. That was a show he won. So, man, there's a lot more shows than people realize because there's so many overseas this year. Mm-hmm. Where in the past most of them were in America. Now looking at this, I mean, there's probably 10 of these shows are international. So it's going to give the guys that are overseas the opportunity to go win a show and go showcase themselves at the Olympia.
Good.
Yeah. So on a different tip, these drinks are ridiculous, and I'm not trying to give a plug, but they are.
It's called Amino 5, guys. I know it looks like aminos.
Explain it because
so 5 aminos. It has electrolytes. It's a hydration amino drink with 0 caffeine, no sugar. Okay.
How did they make it and I'm not saying this just because it's sitting right here. Every person that's tried it is like, give me another one, because it's
so refreshing.
That tastes
it's a sparkling hydration drink, which there's not a lot of space in the market that has this. Everyone's focused on kind of energy right now. So we just launched this out. It's available on Amazon, the website. It's in distribution now. I just got a shout out from Gym Hub today. They just picked it up.
Nice.
The goal with this is to find a space something that you can drink either training, after training, or just sitting at your desk. Everyone needs a little bit of hydration. There's 200 milligrams of sodium in here. So it allows you not to go crazy like replenish, but to keep, listen, we all need it, right? Because especially when people aren't drinking enough or whatever else. So I wanted to put a space where it gave a refreshing recovery, but also beneficial drink in the market. So space. So this is great where you're sitting at your desk or just, moving from place to place. You're looking for something a little kind of a treat. To me, it doesn't feel like you're drinking like kind of a treat drink.
You know what it tastes like? It tastes like Southern lemonade that's loaded with sugar. It tastes good. Like when you go to that mom and pop's restaurant in the South, it tastes like real lemonade. I don't know how they made it taste like that.
Yep.
Maybe they're full of shit and it's floated with sugar.
So we are selling it on the
Just kidding.
website also. Listen, great test to see if my community, I have a great community online right now between all the platforms, between TikTok, Facebook, all the Shopify platforms, all the direct business, and now, of course, some distribution. I wanted to find something that could help. We've had great success with the carnitine. And obviously the liquid pump is a big pusher now. So this is a glycerol and nitrates product. The liquid delivery system is quicker, less messy, and it's something where people on the go can just, they don't have to have something to mix it with or whatever else. I mean, I still go between the powders and the liquids, but we're giving the option to my community, which now I've been in business over 7 years. So for me, it's exciting to now be in the beverage space, and hopefully, people will try it out. But
it's.
We are sending out free samples right now for promotion till the end of the month off the website, jcutler.com.
So if someone buys something,
we do have a promotion, so they throw in one can for people to try in there. So there's only 2 flavors right now: the grape and the lemonade. We do.
Are you going to leak what
orange.
The next flavors are?
Well, we have an orange. We have another one. So I don't know what we're actually. I don't want to say it's just orange because this is like a. I guess this is sparkling lemonade, and this is
I just call that
sparkling
purple.
grape. So it's pretty simple. People like to come up with these fancy names, but
no, it's simple.
But we are drinking them on the podcast, and we're not cranked up on energy. And this is big shout out to our sponsor, Amino 5.
Does that mean we're getting a check? But no,
it's
for me,
it's very costly to do drinks. There's not a lot of margins, and it's volume game.
Getting cans and drinking something is much easier. I make tea at home now because I cut soda out 7 months ago.
It's a 12-ounce can, by the way.
I haven't had one drink of soda.
Do you feel like you're drinking a soda with this?
It has a little sparkling to it, but it doesn't have the caffeine. I forgot where I was going with that.
You're just not drinking
No,
soda?
no. What I was saying is when you can go in the fridge and grab something cool and consume it and not think, oh my God, am I having too much caffeine? Like yesterday, I drank too much coffee in the morning, and I went and trained yesterday, and one of the guys behind the counter was like, hey, try this energy drink. And I started drinking. I'm like, I can't have this much caffeine. It's got 200 grams of milligrams of caffeine.
I grind my teeth when I drink
too
caffeine
much.
now. Yeah.
But this is something you could drink 2 or 3 of them.
We sound old when we talk like that, because
listen,
we do have some younger people.
I'm very young. You're very old. There's a huge difference in age.
I'm just cautious. Yeah.
No, but if I drink too much caffeine, I can tell. I get like this feeling in my stomach.
Anyone that's weaned themselves off caffeine know this whole story, how it goes,
What travels you got coming up?
The next trip is 365 Fitness, Jacksonville. Big gym appearance. A lot of people have been doing gigs out there lately. They just did a couple big events. Lee Priest was just there. I don't think that location, but so I'm heading out there for 365 on the 27th.
27th.
Saturday. So mark your calendars on that. I have all this stuff on Jay Cutler shop appearance schedule anyway. Mm-hmm. And the next one, I think July. I just said to you, I think July. I don't know if I'm booked anywhere.
Which is kind of nice.
I know, but Angie's pushing for like a Europe trip,
Well, then go.
And we've had the puppies.
I just got back from Europe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
my 5th trip.
So if any of my European people that have been asking me about doing any appearances have maybe something in July that they'd love me to do, and I'm gonna hear from Italy, Ireland, Scotland from this. I guarantee.
For sure.
Big shout out to all those people.
For sure.
I might be able to piggyback a Saturday if I do a trip. I just don't know if we're going to go in July or not, just because we have so much construction right now. My whole backyard, anyone that's followed my social media, my backyard's getting done right now. Almost there. July, I want to say around the 4th of July, it should be ready. And then we're working on another project. We just got another property. So
3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, I went to Italy, and it was the first time I had gone to the pro show, the Rimini Wellness Expo. And I didn't realize how big it was. I always thought it was small. It's probably, foot traffic wise, it's probably next to FIBO as far as foot traffic wise. It would take you, similar to FIBO, easily 15 minutes to walk to the whole other side of it. It's got to be close to a mile long. And it had like 8 halls, but each one of the halls had to have been 300 yards, that big. And then there was a gap in between. And they had every brand you can imagine, European brand, very few American brands, every brand you can imagine. And then in the middle where you walk through, they had like a huge pool there. They were doing pool exercises, like aerobics and pool. They were doing it was a massive, massive expo. So me and Maureen Blanquisco went there for 3 days, and it's definitely an expo that you...
Did you clean up on your Italian speaking? What'd you learn?
No.
Do they speak a lot of English? No problem?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, most part they do. I mean, it's a smaller like beach town.
Is it a place you would vacation?
No. I mean, it's a beach town.
What's the major city closest?
Bologna. We flew into Bologna. It's kind of a funny story. I met Maureen when she was amateur. We both flew into Bologna, and she competed and won the Amateur Olympia in 2019.
I think that's where the Ferrari place is in Bologna. I think
it's just north of Bologna. You fly into Bologna, and so she turned pro at the San Marino Olympia, and that was a show that Cedric McMillan won that show that year, and him and Brandon. It was before Brandon really popped up. He was still kind of trying to make his way. So she turned pro there, and then she probably should have won the pro show the next night. And then she took 3 or 4 years off to help her family, and then she came back into it. So here we were, full circle. 10 years later, we both fly into the same airport, and we go to the expo there. So it was kind of a cool little, like down memory lane. Like, holy shit, it's been 10 years since we both came here. Now here we are again. So, but I got to go to Tennessee this weekend for something
family
outside. Yeah. So
yeah, I have so I have July Open. August 8th is the Jay Cutler Virginia Classic, which was formerly in Richmond. It's in Chester now. We changed it last year. Mm-hmm. And then the following weekend, I'm flying to New York for Steve Weinberger. Yeah.
40th anniversary.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't, sometimes I think about that, dude, 40 years.
And his gym was super small. And now he's just packed it with, more equipment since I was just there not a few months ago. And he's pretty excited about this. And he has his book he's launching now. Also is like the whole story about the background, which we all participated in, I think, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be he's going to launch there, I believe,
Good.
The book, which will be pretty
better
cool.
get an autographed copy.
Yeah, well, you have to show up, that's all.
Yeah.
Same day as Texas, though.
I know, yeah. So same day as Texas, but we'll find a way to make it happen. I'm gonna go up there anyways.
Yeah.
So,
and then I don't have anything till Anaheim Expo's the end of August, which is the latest they've had to show.
Yeah.
End of the season. I think kids will be back to school by then. I don't even know how long I've been doing that show. It's usually on my birthday, if you remember. It's usually early August, but they pushed it to the end of the season.
That makes it easier.
Yeah.
Easier for you. It's harder for, obviously, there's only so many guys you can get because they're competing at the Olympia. The Olympia is back to its normal time. Wait, it used to be the third weekend of September, right? This year's the fourth weekend of September.
Is it the fourth weekend?
I think it's like the 24th or something like that when I was just looking it up here. But it was always, let's see.
Yeah, back at the Orleans Arena.
Yep. It's September 24th. So it was always, technically that is the third weekend, September 6th, 13th.
I'll tell you.
20th.
I'll tell you, back in 99 when I did it, I'll be honest, it was close to Halloween because I did a Halloween themed kind of routine. So it was, if you look back in 1999 when they had it, was October. So it's kind of gone back and forth. I like September the most. Why? Listen, opens up a lot for the guys to be able to compete the tour after. I just feel like end of summer, then you just you can get more of you can finish off it's just better timing. It gives you a little more time for the Arnold if you want to compete again. Now, of course, there's a lot of other shows, but for me as a guy that was eyeing the two major shows, if it was earlier, it gave me a time off to kind of take a few weeks, and then I could jump back on and start training for the Arnold Classic.
Yeah, it makes sense because if it's too far down the road, then you literally can't take a break after the Arnold. And I'm sure after you beat the hell out of yourself going to the Olympia, you need a break.
Yeah, because I like 16 weeks just to, even if I don't go full tilt. But it gave me enough time for that,
this year, there's a lot of guys that after the Olympia, there's so many shows, they can almost do like a mini tour. They can go over and spend a month in Europe and go do.
I just wonder how many top guys will. I mean, who qualifies, right?
Yeah.
Top three qualify at the Olympia?
Top three. I mean, you'd be smart if you were.
I mean, we talked about Martin, Sean Clarita.
I think, didn't Martin say he's going back to Prague? I could be wrong. I thought I heard him. I thought I read that somewhere where he said he's going to defend his title.
He's had some pretty good fortune there. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's won, the last two?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he go there? I see it looks like
it's good that he's doing the show.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. That's new news, actually, that he's going to actually compete.
And then since we've done our podcast, it looks like the last one, Nick is doing Tampa.
Yes.
So he's going to go down there and I think he's won Tampa before, didn't he?
Because he lived there for a while.
Yeah, I think he won Tampa. I think that might have been his first.
But
his first major.
I mean, we see that.
Or no, I think he won New York in Tampa. His first one.
Yeah, you're
maybe
right.
That's what it was.
Joe's doing the show, and he looks really good right now. So yeah.
Okay.
Joe Palacio.
Yeah, we're going to get him on the podcast here. We've been trying to, just the timing thing. Do you want to go over some questions?
Yes.
So we put a post on Instagram and just said we were going to ask some questions, and I'm just going to go through some of these.
I'll try not to go into too depth.
Amanda, shout out to Amanda. She asks, what do you think is the biggest misconception people have about the women who pursue the highest level of muscularity in bodybuilding? And how has that affected the growth of divisions? Any insight on women's physique division and women's bodybuilding? Has it gone too far? Is there such a thing? And most importantly, do you admire the muscular physique on a woman the same way you admire them on men?
I don't admire the muscular physiques as much, to be honest. Like, my preference is still, and that's just my personal opinion, it's no disregard to those, trying to strive for the biggest. I mean, just like with I wasn't preferred to be 260 pounds on stage either myself. Yeah. That wasn't my best look. My best look was placing dead last body, 240, like that kind of look when I ripped down for 99, like Arnold. That was like the when I think those black and white pictures. But we also have some great champions. I mean, Andrea Shaw, who's clean, there are some women that definitely get too big, but I don't necessarily think the women winning necessarily. I mean, you have Natalia, you have, Sarah, you have all these girls that look, I think, good. Do I think that sometimes it's pushed for? Yeah, I think, but every division, I feel like the men's physique isn't, like, those guys are bigger now. Yeah, I think all the divisions, like, in my preference, I would definitely pull back some, but listen, it's not my organization. I'm not running it, and like, I don't discredit what they're doing. It's just an opinion.
Yeah.
So my eyes just visually see something else. I mean, I looked at Corey and Rachel McLeish and all these, like, the early phases of it. I mean, but guys can say that about, well, you and Ronnie were too big, and I like the Frank Zane and all the Arnold era, right? I mean, that's a lot different. So it's just what you visualize bodybuilding to be. I think there's just a lot of divisions, so I think it gets a little crossed, in my opinion, because I don't follow him as deeply. And even today, when I'm much busier doing things, like, I don't dig that deep. And I mean, we try to give the flowers to all the winners, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of great talent in there. But to each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own, I think. What is she competing in?
Women's physique.
Okay.
We saw her yesterday. She posted a picture. Her and Vanessa were posing.
Yeah.
No. But one thing I'll say, and I've said this before, and I'm going to give her flowers. Andrea Shaw is the best representative of any current Olympia champions. I think six. I could be wrong. But she is so gracious with her fans. She travels all over the world.
I understand her person, but I'm saying the physique-wise.
Yes.
Like,
I think physique-wise as well. She's not... It's not overdone on her physique, and she's still feminine. And I still think Andrea is a great asset to have. At the end of the day, she's Miss Olympia, and when you have that type of look at the top, it should trickle down and have other people follow suit. So, hopefully that answers her question. The next one from Paula. What do you recommend having right before going on stage? Nothing, or is there any must-haves? And is there anything you would avoid?
I used to have, like, rice cakes and peanut butter, like, just to give my body a little zip. Little carbs, little fat, just keep it slower. Just that's what I would usually have. But fluids can be important too, like a little bit of, you know, sodium, whatever else to give, just depends how dehydrated and what condition you're in. I mean, I've showed up in 10 different looks. So for me, it just really came down to the circumstance of what it was, just to make sure you're a little hydrated, because you're going to get in under the lights and sweat. But I don't want to crank myself with like, some people use candy, some other, you know what I mean? I just use like, if I was backstage, I would try to eat my normal meals, but I would also maybe just have a little bit of peanut butter on some rice cakes just to kind of give my body a little zip, you know?
Probably no, I would assume you didn't want to take any unnecessary risks.
Yes.
Like if you eat a bunch
Something
of candy,
light,
it
yeah.
could make it crazy, but
Well,
it could also...
it makes you sweat, you know,
Yeah.
again, it spikes your insulin levels, whatever else. But I just tried to keep it as mild as possible. And I felt like a little bit of fat, a little bit of carbs is necessary at that point.
Next question, Ash. If you could change anything in your bodybuilding career, what would it have been?
My hairstyle.
Okay, let me ask you this. 02. Is that something you think about?
No.
Okay.
Because I the circumstance to do that.
Yeah.
Just,
You couldn't.
I mean, people can like, listen, they failed me in the drug test in 01. You know, I lost controversially. Was I upset? Yeah, a little bit. But I was moving to Vegas, starting a whole new journey. I just didn't, I knew what my head needed to be settled. And like my backyard was getting done, and I had people at my house ringing doorbells at 6:30 in the morning every day. I need even now, like we've had people working at a house for like 2 months. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And they're showing up every morning, and granted they are making their own way in, but this, you know, we had
Still, it's your
crazy
home.
big dogs then. And like now we have the little puppies. So yeah, they get barking a little bit, but I'm not training for a bodybuilding show.
Is there anything else that you would have changed that you could think of off the top of your head?
It's really hard. It's a hard question for me because I feel like I did everything in a good path.
Yeah.
I mean, health aspect, I can't say like I should have,
regrets.
could have. I competed when I did. I had great deals. I had great relationships. You know, I think all in all, it was pretty good actually. But I would have done.
I'm sure
I would have changed the hairstyle a little sooner. That's all.
I'm sure if you sat down on maybe some business things, maybe you
Yeah.
would have in a different
Oh, yeah.
direction.
Yeah, I
That,
mean-
but not on, it's physique wise and training, nothing different.
Yeah.
From Max Muscle, Placerville. What's your favorite Northern California supplement store to visit?
John at Max Muscle.
Talk about his shop a little
dude,
bit.
Listen, so he's in Placerville, which is like, I think it's on the way to Reno, like Lake Tahoe, kind of. Like it's pretty far. Like,
Yeah, it's out there.
I think I fly into
Sacramento, don't you?
Do I? Yeah.
Yeah,
I fly into
Sacramento,
Sac. It's like dirt bike territory out there. John will love this, but I met John in 03. He was, you know, Dave trained him actually. Dave Borlay, I think, did the coaching to him and his wife, who opened up a family business next to a gym. I love going out there. I try to go out every 2 or 3 years. I think we're due for a visit, actually, John. So he sells the products. Like he has a great community there. Loves bodybuilding. Obviously, he saw our post, so he probably thankful. Big shout out
But
to
now
John.
I need
Max
to ask
Muscle.
him this. Does he have
you
the
know what?
Reno?
I think he did order some, but
You
John,
better.
you need to order some of these. But if you want to go for carnitine or pump or Prevail or whatever else, go to John. And
So listen,
even if
John.
you want to hit him up, he'll ship it to you. I
So
think.
listen, John, I expect Jay to say this massive order came in from John for shouting him out. Okay, Dylan,
He might be the one Max Muscle that sells my stuff. Actually, I think.
are there any items on your bucket list you have not accomplished yet? Not being broke.
Yeah, I'm trying to think I mean, a foreign language for
Foreign
sure.
language.
Yeah, I just don't know what yet. I mean, I would probably say Spanish or German. I think that would be the most beneficial for
learn?
me. I'd like to golf.
Let's go golf. I'll go.
I
used to
like
golf a
to
lot.
golf, but the thing is, when I start, I want to like try to become decent at it. You know what I mean? It's just like I was just talking about talking about guns, and I'm like, and you're kind of like, I don't know how good I haven't shot in a while. Like as far as
and my eyes are shit.
and you know what's funny? I used to just go in the back in our cornfields and just blast. I used to like shoot woodchucks
Shoot the
and stuff.
crows.
Yeah, like so for me, it was like. I was handling a gun when I was 4, you know,
Yeah.
I had shotguns. I remember that shit knocked me on my ass, you know, literally my brother picked me off the ground. He's like, okay, brace yourself. And I was so little and that knocked me right back. And you just take it, like guns were just sitting next to the door. We had
Yeah, it was
guns
normal.
we had a gun rack. You know, I made
When
a
I went
gun
to
rack
high
in high
school,
school for my brother.
People had guns in the back windows of their
Yeah,
trucks
of
at high
course.
school.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, of course, that's what they did where we grew up.
So you're going to learn a foreign language?
I think I should. Yeah.
Yes, you should. I'll get you set up. Get you
Yeah.
set up with
It's
a tutor.
like you said. I mean, you're doing it, so it just takes time, you know. And there's a lot of things. I mean, business wise, like I want to build our entities, you know, whether it's TRT Kingdom or, you know, the Cutler Nutrition business. I want to do it all.
Next one is from Carlo. When you had structured high, medium, and low carb days, would you have those on lagging body parts or just specific days spread out regardless of the body part? And how would you structure carbs during the day? Would they be around your training?
Yeah, so around the training or first thing in the morning, highest carb days were always back and leg days. My cycle ran where I structured my training so I did like maximum of 3 to 4 low days before I used a bump on the usually fourth or fifth day. The body can only take 3 days of lower carbs. So I would cycle them and have a really large breakfast still to this day the same way. And then around the training is when I take the most calories, which would be of carbohydrates. But honestly, and during those meals that the carbohydrates were super high, I would back down on the protein. So the protein would go up other than those meals. When the carbs are down, the protein goes up and vice versa. Same calorie count, right? So that answers the question pretty much where, yes, harder training body parts where there's more output, not necessarily weak body parts, because I really, honestly, I hate to say it, I didn't have a lot of weak body parts.
Next one from JKL Jim. What's your biggest pet peeve in the bodybuilding community right now?
Social media.
100%.
And it's only because the highlight reels that we see, and it's very influential for the younger generation, meaning that I just don't want people to believe that everyone else is living a much better life.
Yep.
And I feel like they can take easily advantage of people because of their perception of things. So I think content is important. And listen, I love social media for the positive side because it does give us a window to be able to have communication all over the world with people. But at the same time, I feel like some of the content should be reserved and not necessarily on social media, or like people need to be more mindful of who their following is.
I think there's, how do I say this? Just be blunt. There's a lot of full of shit people out there, and they're very influential, and everybody always thinks the next person has it much better. In reality, you know, especially when you see like people showing like things they have and the trips they go on and this, and a lot of these people are not living this life. It's a perception. And especially on the bodybuilding side, there's a lot of people that get their fucking panties in a bunch if you just give an opinion, not even a negative opinion, and they get angry. Like if I would ever speak openly about stuff people say over just an opinion, hey, I think this guy should win. Well, if you think one guy should win, now the guy that you put in second place is angry at you.
Yeah, I believe politics also. People get on there and they have their political opinions, which, listen, everyone's entitled to it, but
Of course.
respect the fact that someone is getting vocal about their mindset, even though it's different from yours. We all have a rhyme or reason, but people always want to correct people on why their opinion is better than that person's opinion. And in the end, like, it's just some things are better not said, if that makes sense.
Oh, the next question here, what are your feelings on fitness influencers?
I like fitness influencers. I think it's great for people. I think that it's a great opportunity. I'm not against, I mean, we had to have crazy accolades to get the contracts and get recognition to get the platform built. Nowadays, you can go very viral just creating content just with your iPhone. I think it's amazing that we have this extension of ourselves that you don't necessarily need to hire for a video. Like, you can edit your own videos. You can do it all from your phone. And that gives people the great opportunity because there's just a lot of people that are eager to learn, but at the same time, you can influence people in a very positive way. So fitness influencers, I feel, can be very useful for people. I mean, I always ask these youngsters that come to me, how do you learn? And it's like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. And I love that we have that instant gratification of like, okay, I can learn how to do this exercise or learn how to eat. I just hope that they follow the people with the valuable information, not just a highlight reel of crazy things that sometimes go viral, if that makes sense.
You know, and on kind of a different tip connected to that, you know, when we started this podcast, we wanted to always make sure everything was positive. We don't ever talk, like we might give our opinion that this person looks better than that person, but we never go after anybody. We never take shots at anybody. We give everyone respect. And our content, if you go see the reels, and we are the most viewed podcast in this space across platforms, anywhere between 30 and 70 million views a month across platforms. None of it is negative. It's all positive. And I wish we would have more people put out positive content so the younger people that are watching this don't think they have to take mounds of gear to be successful, or don't think that they have to, that there's shortcuts to things. And I hope we can get more people to put positive stuff out. And that's one thing that, like I said, when we started this, was it's going to be all about positivity. And I don't know if people notice that or not. I hope they do, but I wish, you know, for the most part, the fitness influencers are positive, but we want to make sure that people are getting the correct information.
And the feedback's done well for us too. Yeah. I mean, we love the feedback, because to know that you're, you know, the recognizable platform, and we have the visibility that, I mean, we've had people come to us with tears, and it's not just
Many
about
times.
like, oh, we want to be professional or we have a goal to compete. It's just about, hey, you know, some people use it as an entertainment platform to like, hey, you know what, I get my cardio done. So like, if we can be someone's 30-minute, 60-minute, usually our podcasts are an hour, if that can be a filler to get you through your job that you're set out to do, or something that maybe you don't look forward to doing, but that burns the time a lot quicker. Hey man, thank you so much for putting us on and listening to us, because we used to laugh and say, who the hell wants to listen to us? We actually tell
all the time.
Like,
because sometimes we'll go to film a podcast and he'll be like, dude, why are we doing this? Nobody wants to listen to us yap. But the amount of people that you'll see that when a podcast goes up, thank you, man, cardio is about to start.
So guys, comment below if you guys like, and listen, ask the questions, because we're going to do these rounds.
Yeah. Especially
when we, you know, we're in between people that we have, and we are working on some different type of
content to get out there.
Yeah.
It's a question / kind of comment. When will you invite Mr. Levrone and Tom Platz on? We would love to have them on. We've been trying for years. We will get them on soon. We have an angle that we're working on that we'll just slowly have to roll it out.
It's crazy how much Tom Platz has got recognition, though, that I felt like there was like a time where Tom wasn't as spoken about. And then, I mean, but I love hearing, like, Chris Aceto has the best stories of how hard Tom Platz trained. He said he trained with him and like wanted to quit. Like, it was like, you talk about Rich Gaspari, like he's another one. I'd love to have Rich on. I mean, he was second to Lee Haney 3 times. I mean, he was someone I literally idolized, you know, and Rich, I've told you this before, Rich, and
he's still in shape.
Send this message to Rich Gaspari, please, someone. I told him a million times, I watched American Muscle magazine episode when he was at his mother's house and they were eating pasta, Italian family. And it was like a week out, and he's like, I'm going to win the first Arnold Classic. He won the first one, by the way, 89. And I was like, man, if I could ever be, because he was a young guy then, you know? And I'm like, gosh, like Rich Gaspari, if I'm only a few years away from being that age, if I could ever be that level, and, you know, to have him like battle the greatest, you know, Lee Haney, you know, 8-time Mr. Olympia, he's another one. Like, we tried to get him.
We ran into him in, where was it? At FIBO, and I went and sat down with him, and he gave, you know, and I said, hey, the Arnold UK.
Oh, UK, yeah.
And he's like, all right, let's set it up tonight. So I texted him, and he didn't see the message. So about a month later, he responded, said, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't see this. I really want to come on. So we're going to get him on soon. And that's just, again, I think he kind of gets disrespected a lot.
Well, he was in between a magazine and social media. He kind of missed. But now with, you know, the Panada deal and, you know, what I love what Panada's doing is they're giving these guys the visibility, like him, Phil, Ronnie. I mean, they're taking on all the champions to represent the brand, but also giving them the limelight of like helping them like, hey, I want an insight on the equipment.
Because when people they'll say, who's the greatest? They'll say Ronnie Coleman, or they'll say, Phil Heath or Flex. It's like, hey guys, Lee Haney won 8.
I mean,
and retired at 33 years
Arnold,
old.
They're talking about Arnold. There's a big gap between Arnold and Lee, right? There's a lot of great champions. Sergio Oliva, I mean, he was 3-time.
Yep.
Frank Zane, yeah. I mean, there's so many great, Dickerson, all these guys. There's so many great champions. Samir Bannout, we need him to get him on. He's a super opinionated. We love him on. But once again, we got to get people here in our amazing setup in Las Vegas.
If you guys knew how first class this operation was.
So it's just about getting people aligned. So if you guys have someone you suggest that you have a direct contact with that, is one of these people that we mentioned or someone of that caliber, please comment below and hit those people up and say, you got to get on Cutler Cast, please. Like we are.
I'm going to put a post up that says, tag who you want on below.
Yeah.
And whoever gets the most tags, damn it, we're going to get them on.
So that's kind of the goal we're working towards, getting more faces on that you guys would have interest in. I think that would be really, really good. I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, I'd love to get King Kamali on.
Yeah, I just saw a reel pop up with him. I thought, King Kamali would be great.
He's doing really well with the OGs podcast. I saw Chris Cook is on there now.
Yep, okay. He'd be good.
I mean, they're doing a really good job interviewing people with that podcast, and I like that. I do tune in for some of his content.
He lives here, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
I didn't even think about that, yeah. I also want to get like some, and I know everybody thinks this is all bodybuilding. I want to get some business leaders on
that work out
that you may not have heard of, that actually follow fitness and bodybuilding lifestyle. They could be an owner of a prominent brand. I'm not talking about like the local guy here, but I'm talking about people that have prominent brands that you have heard of before. It doesn't have to be in the bodybuilding space. They could own car dealerships, or they could be a politician, or they could be a CEO of a casino. But when you see them, you're like, man, that person is in shape. That person meal preps. Like I'll use an example, Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp meal preps. He trains every day. He has a full-time trainer. He lives here in Vegas too. We probably need to get him on. But people like that even though they've never competed on stage, they're still close to the industry without being in the industry. So we need to get those type of people on too. So if you have somebody you recommend, let us know.
Yeah, guys, appreciate it so much. Make sure you guys check out Amino 5. By the way, carnitine is now available at Vitamin Shop. Any Vitamin Shop around the country, 1,700 stores. The carnitine is now available, so make sure you guys check it out. Big shout out to Fit Club. You guys have been supporting us for many years. If you guys come to Las Vegas, please go over and see Gavin and Vinny over there at Fit Club. There's 3 locations now, the brand new locations in Henderson. Or, if you want to travel way up north by me, there's a north location. Then you have the OG, which is by the Strip, which you said they just went through
They completely pulled all the equipment out and re-put it in. And
Did they get
looks
any
like
new
a new
stuff?
gym.
Or?
A couple pieces here and there. They shift them around from spot to spot. And also shout out Pacific West.
Yep, Pacific West injury. Big Chris over there and his staff. Make sure you guys, if you guys get into any kind of accidents or whatever else, they can help you out with injuries. Big shout out to Leo at DMV Iron also, who had me out there. I forgot to mention that. Okay. Steven at Super Fitness, who supplied a lot of the equipment to his gym. Leo, once again, put together probably the best of all time of his gyms. I think it's his 4th or 5th location.
You know what? We need to have Steven on.
Yeah.
We need to have Steven come on.
Yeah, Steven, Super Fitness, North Carolina. Make sure you guys are looking for any equipment, hit up Steven because he has everything. And I'm
going to remind him, Big John, I expect Jay to say this massive order came through.
We need to get you a couple pallets out to you, Big John. So, all right. So big shout out to all our people out there. Thank you guys so much for all your loyalty. Please comment below. Spread the word of this podcast. If you saw us talk about some of these champions, send this over to them. We have a lot of winners. We'll probably have a lot more people qualify. We're going to see how big the Olympia is in September.
It's going to be big.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. And for Matt and myself, once again, Cutler Cast, we are out.